Hello, Westgate families and students. It's me, Mr. C, and I'm here because it was the first day of school today. And you know what that means? Yeah, it's time for some homework. All right, this is how it's going to work. The paper that you just scanned has 6 questions on it. Now, you can pause this video and ask your student those questions and then write down the answers, or you can go along with the video and pause as you go. But if your child gets all 6 questions right, yes, all 6, every word of all 6 questions right, then you have to grant them one wish. Now, restrictions apply, okay? So, like, you can't wish for a unicorn because a unicorn's a mythical creature. You'd have to wish for a pony. Or, like, you can't wish to, like, fly to Italy for dinner, but you could wish for, like, ice cream for dinner. Anyways, restrictions apply. You get it. But here's the other side of the agreement. If they get even one of these questions wrong, then they have to clean their room and do the dishes tonight. Sound like fun? You want to play? All right, here we go. This was the first question. Like I said, you can either answer all the questions on the paper and then watch this video, so there's no spoilers. Make sure they answer the questions before you get the answer. Question 1. When you are in the hallway at school, what are you usually standing and walking underneath? What do you walk underneath when you're walking in line in the hallway? The answer is your track. Yeah, that's right. We call it a track at school. It's that line in the ceiling tiles that makes it really easy to follow because it's like in the perfect spot to stand in line. You'll see kids sometimes looking up to check if they're underneath their track. Did you get that one right? All right. How about question number 2? If you need to get out of your seat in the cafeteria, what should you do first before you get out of your seat? What is it? What should you do before you get out of your seat in your cafeteria? You ready? Did you say raise your hand? Yes! At Westgate, we always raise our hands before we get out of our seats in the cafeteria. It keeps it safe. It keeps it from getting chaotic and messy and crazy in the cafeteria. So make sure you're raising your hand before you get out of your seat. All right? Are you on a roll? 2 in a row? Let's see if you can get this one. What is the name of our Westgate librarian? She's also the person who's in charge of all the technology and helps all the teachers get onto their smart boards and all that stuff. What's that person's name? She basically lives in the library. Her name is Mrs. Scott. I will also accept Dana Scott as an answer, or Mrs. Dana, if anybody ever calls her that. But Mrs. Scott is the name of our librarian. How you doing? Did you get all 3? Did you get any wrong yet? Is anybody out there doing the dishes and cleaning their room yet? Oh yeah, 3 in a row? All right. Well, let's see question number 4, because it's just getting tough now. If you are in the Westgate Innovation Lab, what do you always have to do before you leave? What do we always do in the Innovation Lab before we leave? Did you say clean up your mess? Yes! It's a shared space. The Innovation Lab is in the library. If you didn't get a chance to see it yet, it is gorgeous. That Mrs. Scott actually takes care of and curates the Innovation Lab and the library, and it's so important that in our shared spaces, our library and our Innovation Lab, that we clean up our mess and we clean up after ourselves because, well, there's other people that use that space too. So we need to make sure that we're being respectful of our shared spaces, our classrooms, and even our own desks and our spaces in our classrooms. So I hope you said clean up your mess. If you didn't, well, you're going to be cleaning up your mess in your room right now. All right, question number 5. If you're still here, cross your fingers. This is a tough one. What are the 3 most important rules at recess? I hope you were paying attention when I was telling you today. What are the 3 most important rules at recess? What are they? Did you say safe bodies, kind words, and everyone gets to play? That's right, we have safe bodies at recess. That means there's no pushing, there's no shoving, there's no tackling. That means when you're sliding down the slides, you're doing it safely. That means that when we're playing with friends, we're making sure we're keeping ourselves and our friends safe. We don't want smashed heads. We don't want people tripping and falling, so it's always important to have safe bodies and kind words. We always use kind words, even if we're upset or we disagree with somebody. We don't use mean words at Westgate. We use kind words. And of course, when we're playing games, a Westgate crewmate can always play along. All right. I mean, obviously, restrictions apply to this as well, but hey, we all need friends and we all want to be nice and kind and loving at Westgate. So it's important that we let people play as long as people agree to follow the rules of the game that we're playing, right? Everyone should have a chance to play. That's right. Okay. That was question 5. Here it comes. Question number 6, the last one. If you've got all 5 right and you get this one right, your family has to grant you a wish. I don't make these rules. Dr. Calvert made these rules, okay? So families, if you're upset, you got to call Dr. Calvert and complain to her. Not me. Don't call me. This was her idea. All right, kiddos. If you have to go to the school nurse or the clinic, Miss Genesis, she's one of my favorites, what should you always bring with you? Before you go to the clinic, what do you have to have with you? What do you bring with you when you go to the clinic? It's a tough one. Did you say a clinic pass? Yeah, look, I got one right here. Look, Miss Genesis let me have one. You have to bring a pass with you if you're going to the clinic, right? If you got an upset stomach or you feel like you're going to barf or something like that, you got to get a pass from a teacher or from an adult in the building before you go to the clinic because Miss Genesis has to know that you're there with someone's permission. You can't just go to the office without permission, so you bring your pass so that she can keep track of all that. Did you get that right? Did you get all 6 right? Well, if you did, you better talk to your family. Families, hey, like I said, I didn't make the rules. You got to grant them a wish. Let them make one wish. Got to grant it now. If you got even one wrong, you better start cleaning your room, and it better look perfect when you're done. And then you got to do the dishes. Hey, don't get upset at me. I don't make the rules. Blame Dr. Calvert. This was all her idea. I'll see you tomorrow for the second day of school, Westgate crewmates. I'm excited. I hope you are too.